Hey guys, welcome back to the Hear Me Roar pod. I am Toby and my co-host is none other than the Kate Save, which you might know her from Shark Tank. She's also founder of BeFit Foods and picked up Telstra's Business of the Year award too. Kate?
Well, Toby, you've got a super impressive CV, 25 years in global commercialisation experience, and you founded Creative Cubes, Australia's leading co-working space and real estate business.
All right, let's get on with the pod.
Hey, Toby.
Hey, what's happening?
Well, I've been ice bathing just like you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You going to Calm Springs?
No, I go to the recovery lab.
Okay.
Our next guest actually has the recovery lab that I go to in Mornington.
Ah, Bruce. So Bruce McFarlane is going to join us on the show. I've known Bruce for a little while, since I've been back in Australia. He used to be the CEO of Blue Rock.
Yes.
And there's now spun out a new business that he's running. But Bruce and I are part of a friend of ours. His name's Trent Blackett. Trent runs a business called EMT,
Right.
or EMT Partners. And we'll talk more about EMT when Bruce is on the show. But Trent and I used to live, or Trent is one of the founding partners of EMT. Trent and I used to live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And we were part of Emerge or Aussies in LA network. And so we've been hanging out for a long time. Then when COVID hit, we'd both came back to Australia. I think Trent was there for maybe 12 or 15 years. I was there for 10. We both came back and we ended up being 2 blocks from each other. So when Dan Andrews locked us in and said we couldn't go more than 5 kilometers, Trent was in my zone.
Oh, so
So
good.
Trent and I used to walk every day, and he started this business called EMT. Which I believe Bruce had something to do with. We'll ask him about it.
Okay.
And a couple of summers ago, Bruce and I were at the EMT Christmas party. And Bruce and I have been speaking every other day since that Christmas party, which we hope in time we'll be able to share with the listeners. But had a lot of time with Bruce. And I'm actually really grateful that he's here because 3 weeks ago, he got knocked off his bike up in the Gold Coast.
Terrifying.
Wasn't responding to me. I'm like, Bruce, where are you? We need to talk about this and that. No response. A couple of days later, he says, sorry, mate, got knocked off my bike. I've been in ER. So we're very lucky to have him on the pod. And he'll be here after the break, thanks to Rise. Guys, I want to introduce you to Rise, a business cohort like no other. So what is the Rise Network? Rise Network is a curated inner circle of 10 to 12 like-minded peers designed to provide a confidential, high-trust environment where business owners and leaders can gain strategic insights, actionable solutions, and lasting relationships. Rise isn't just networking, it's a game-changing business support system. It has strategic problem solving built in, expert facilitation, actionable insights, long-term impact and authentic relationships, and it's based exclusively around high-trust cohorts. For your membership, you gain full access to Creative Cubes. That means you can drop in when you're on the run to use the meeting rooms, breakout spaces, or even just dock in for the day. We wanted to serve the underserved, the people that do need the help, do need the support, don't necessarily have the funds to be able to do it, and don't necessarily fit into one of these other organizations. And so that's where Rise kind of came from. So there you have it, guys. Go to werise.au, and I hope to see you at one of our cohorts soon.
Back on the show. So we've got Bruce. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to see you both.
It's great to see you.
Yeah.
My goodness. What happened?
I do a bit of cycling and very passionate about health and fitness, and cycling's been my thing for a few years. Come off the bike a couple of times, but this time I was going through a roundabout on the Gold Coast, returning a bike I'd actually rented, which is not in a good state, and a car went through the roundabout, and so a car hit me in the middle of the roundabout. He hit the brakes just before he hit me, so fortunately he didn't run over me. He sort of hit me and threw me, and I rolled, and I was very fortunate that I didn't break anything, but I've had some heart challenges over the last 6 months. Had a 90% blockage in my heart 6 months ago, and so I had a stent put in. So I'm on a few different heart medications. So about 2 hours later, my wife took me to hospital because I wasn't looking great, and I passed out. And so next thing, my wife's in the emergency department in a hospital, and the doctors, this is her story, not mine, I'm out. The doctors are putting things on my chest and giving me injections, and she says to the nurse, is he going to be okay? She's a little bit hysterical by this point, and they said, we're doing the best we can. Whoa. That's not the answer you want to hear when you're in an emergency department in a hospital. So I went out to it. Then they put me in an ambulance with a doctor and a nurse and took me to the public hospital. I went out to it again. Next thing I wake up and I've got people cutting my clothes off and things on my chest and lots of stuff. So I spent, 5 hours in the emergency department doing lots of tests, mainly on my heart, but also I was bleeding internally. So I found out I had a very large hematoma from the accident, and obviously a combination of the blood, heart rate, blood, and all those things. So then I spent 3 days in the trauma ward having tests on my butt because I was bleeding internally, and also my heart got out. And then I called you back after all that.
Lucky.
Exciting few days.
Wow.
Meanwhile, I'm getting harassed on a little transaction that we're doing. What's going on, guys?
Where is he? Why isn't he
idea.
responding? So I'm in the trauma ward, and
Has it made you feel more mortal though? Like, did you have a feeling of mortality, or did that change anything for you?
Yeah, I've had a bit of that because when you do the heart, so the heart thing was a similar story. So I do a lot of cycling. One of my cycling mates is a doctor, and I rode with my doctor. I had chest pains, and so I'd been into hospital. My wife had sent me into hospital once before because of chest pains.
I love that your wife is initiating it. You felt the chest pain, but your wife had to make sure you went to hospital.
So we were out for dinner at the Rocks near, in Mornington, one night, and I'm rubbing my chest, and she's like, "What's the matter?" And I go, "I've got chest pain." She's like, "How long have you had that?" And I said, "A while." And I said, "Oh, you've got a bit of a pain in my neck." And so she's like,
"Oh my goodness." She's
like, "Okay, we're going to drive home. You're going to drop me off. You're going to drive straight to the emergency department by yourself because you're a dickhead and you're a 50-year-old man with chest pains. You haven't told anyone about it." And so I went to the emergency department, checked myself into
Drove yourself there?
Drove myself to the emergency department. I went to Peninsula Private because I wanted to, And
it was 9 hours last time I waited at the Frankston Public.
Frankston's a nightmare,
Only because of the peds. I had to go for the daughter, otherwise I would have gone private.
Anyway, so did lots of tests, did all these things, went back to the cardiologist and had all these tests, and they said, "You're fine." And then a year later, I had an operation on my ankle, or less than a year, and I was coming out of the operation, I had chest pains, and the nurse was like, "That's a bit weird, you shouldn't have chest pains, you've just come out of an anaesthetic." So then my doctor, who's a friend of mine, said, "Okay, we're going to get you to do a CG angiogram." Did the CG angiogram, which is the definitive test, which I'd had a lot of tests on lots of different things. And that was a fun one. I'm running a Teams call for retail food groups, so massive franchise system, lots of people. There's like 20 people on a call with my business partner, and I had 3 missed calls. I had the CG on the Wednesday. It's Friday morning at 9 o'clock, and the 3 missed calls on I'm like, this is a bit weird. So I text my business partner, "Can you make sure you do this? I'm going on mute." I called the number, and it's like, "Oh, hi, it's the blah, blah, blah from the Peninsula Private Hospital. We've got your results of your CG angiogram." And I said, "Oh, yeah, cool." And they said, "We just need you to come into hospital." And I said, "Oh, yeah, when would you like me to come in?" They said, "Where are you?" And I said, "At Recovery Lab in Mornington." I need to, and I said, "Can you be there when?" And they said, "Oh, now's good." I said, "Okay, great." And I said, "Oh, how long will I be there for?" And they said, "Oh, probably overnight." I said, "So I need a bag." Okay. So I ring my wife while I'm on the Teams call and said, "Can you come and pick me up and bring a bag because I'm going to hospital?" And she's like, "What?" And I go, "Okay, I don't know, but just I'll see you when I finish my Teams call. I'll finish that and I'll come back." And so driving in, called my mate who's a doctor, said, "Don't know." I got there and I'm checking and filling in forms, and he said, "You've got a 90% blockage in the main artery in your heart. You'll be in the operating theatre within the hour. You should be fine, but it's a pretty big operation. Then the cardiologist sits you down and says, you may not get through this operation. This is pretty serious. We're going to go into your heart. And was
your wife there then?
She was in the waiting room, yeah.
Oh, but you were by yourself in the room.
Yeah, so they go through that. We're about to go into your heart and go through. So then it's the weirdest thing because you're awake and you're in this room and they're just clean. They put a little hole in you and go into your heart and clean out. So I've had the mortality. Sorry, Kate.
Yeah,
I had that in October, and then coming out of that, you go to classes about it, and there's a lot about the mental side of it as well as the physical side. So I've recovered.
The cardiac rehab group for Peninsula. My team runs some of that.
Yes.
Yeah, there you
so
go.
You do that. I went to one of them.
Yeah.
That session was...
Went to one? How many are you supposed to go to, Bruce?
I
feel like there's a lot more.
Went to a few. Yes. I was just very keen to get back on the bike and start exercising, which apparently I was allowed to do. Got back, got fit again, got really fit, and was pretty happy with that. So but so that was confronting, and then 6 months later I got hit by a car. Sorry, this is not what you want to talk about.
It sounds to me like Recovery Lab was a no-brainer in terms of an investment.
Yeah, interestingly, I was a lot healthier when I bought that, but so that's a combination of things for me and some of the things I want to talk about. But one is passion for health and fitness, and so Kate and I have had a couple of chats about it, but I'm very passionate about that, and obviously being a 55-year-old man now, I've got a lot of friends, and the physical and mental side of looking after yourself, I'm really passionate about that. I've got a cycling group that I ride with, the Dendy Riders, and we really support each other, and it's all about fun, fitness and friendship, but it's about getting on the bike. So franchising is the other thing. So Recovery Lab is a franchise, and so they were a client of one part of our business, and so I like the franchising model. The franchising model, I think, is great in terms of franchisors build brand and build systems. Franchisees engage with community and run and do the operation. So I like that. And the other part of it is my daughters. So I've got 4 kids. Both of my daughters, you mentioned COVID in the introduction. COVID was hell for teenage kids. It was awful because your whole life got shut down. We dealt with it as parents. Little kids forgot it now, but teenage kids, I think, was the worst thing, that they got locked down in their really important times when their friends are the most important things in their life. And now I've got 4 of them living through that. Both daughters came out of that with some mental health challenges that, that it wasn't, their world was taken away. They missed first year uni or year 12 and stuff like that. So Recovery Lab, they both started working in the Recovery Labs in Hampton and Windsor that a friend of mine owned, and they started doing ice baths and saunas and New Calm and some of the things, and both got lots of benefit out of doing the health things involved in Recovery Lab. And so then we decided to buy a franchise ourselves and a family business. And I grew up in family business, so that was another thing. So I had franchising, I had family business, and I had health and wellness. So it ticked a few boxes for me. I grew up, my grandparents owned supermarkets. My parents bought into the business. I worked in it from when I could walk. I was working in my family business.
Amazing.
And I used to go to all the stuff. I was passionate about it as a teenager. I'd go to the conferences. I was like next gen things, and I loved business and I loved family business. But then my dad got sick and sold them before I worked in them. When I was in my 20s. And so I wanted to give my kids that, responsibility, learning, pain, all the shit that goes with family business, but all the good things that go with business. So my daughters became the franchisees, and they did the training course.
Wow.
To run the franchise.
And Kay, you frequent there, right?
I love it, yeah. And the New Calm, because I bet you don't have that where
No,
you
what is
go.
New Calm? Talk to us.
You get this little sticker, and I looked up the tech behind it. It's next level. Like, you cannot believe a sticker has the capacity to do the same thing as like hooking you up to wires in terms of changing your brain chemistry, basically, and your sleep waves and all of that. It's got the audio. You've got a heated blanket underneath you, a weighted blanket on top of you, an air-conditioned pitch black dark room, and you go into the most relaxed, recharging state. And it's something I would treat myself to once or twice a week.
Wow.
So I'll either do a 50-minute session maybe towards the end of the week.
Do you go to sleep?
No, you don't go to sleep. You go into a trance. Like, it's super interesting. You don't sleep.
I'm coming over, Bruce.
It's really interesting. So it was patented technology out of the US.
Yeah, wow.
That was designed to help with post-traumatic stress disorder, so in the military. And so...
do you feel like that some days?
I've got a lot of PTSD from COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what it was designed around that, and then elite sports people started using it to help with performance, to relax the brain. So interesting, I didn't use it a lot because I go to Recovery Lab and I'm very passionate about ice baths and I like the saunas.
I do that all first.
I don't know how many times I've called you, like, just in the sauna, what's going on?
Yeah, my girlfriend's too. I'm in the ice bath or in the hot bath. Yeah.
The hot bath's
the
good,
hot
is it?
bath.
I can't do either, as in on the phone. I'm in the sauna. I took my phone in once and it gets hot.
Yeah.
Of course, a few issues with my phone in the sauna, doing work when I'm sitting in there when I shouldn't be. But the hot and the cold bath, I do what you do, put the headphones in and sit in and jump from hot to cold.
How cold do you guys go in the water?
8 or 9?
It's
7?
It's set at
6 to
6
8
degrees.
Yeah.
So it's set at 6, but it fluctuates between 8 to 9 with people getting in and out of it.
Yeah. Okay.
And the hot bath's at 40, and that. So I do 3 minutes in each jump through. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we started this podcast, I became very inadequate around health and well, even though I run and I'm energetic, but the education that my co-host has here on the food and nutrition. And then I thought I had my big boy pants on because I go into a 65-degree sauna and a 9-degree bath. But you guys are playing around the 6 degrees. Like,
I don't think
I can't keep up.
To be honest, there's no difference really.
Yeah.
I think it's, as long as it's cold. Like, I think anything, and I think there's a little bit of research about women and men. I think that like 10 to 12 is doing.
So I heard your body has to drop by 2 degrees internally in order to bring about the change.
Yeah.
And so if you're sitting in a 12-degree bath, and it takes you 8 minutes to drop the 2 degrees, then it's 8 minutes. But if you're in a colder bath and that drops quicker, so long as you're dropping your body temp by 2 degrees, that's where the power comes in. That's like, do your own research. This isn't advice, but that's what I understand it to be. Yeah,
and I'm the same. Like, I'm a lawyer, I got no background in science or health like you do. But for me, I did a bit of reading about it and a little bit of study about it, but it's really how it makes you feel personally. Yeah. And personally, it makes me feel better every day. Absolutely. I do it before I exercise. I'll do an ice bath before I ride. Yeah.
I use it as a recovery.
I find it really good for that too, because you warm up naturally after it. So it's priming you and it's increasing all of your endorphins and your cortisol. So you've got more energy for the exercise.
Super interesting. I walked the dogs and got not sweaty, but just like warm, and then jumped in the sauna. And I couldn't cope for 45 minutes because I was already quite hot.
But that's good too. Athletes do that. We had a few cyclists over summer training to be like professional athletes, and they would ride for 3 hours and come and jump straight in the sauna.
It was a noticeable difference when I did, a 45-minute walk with the dogs. At the 30-minute mark, I was like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to go for another 15 minutes. But ordinarily, I go in there relatively average Joe, like haven't done anything pre, and I can stick the 45 minutes for 65 degrees.
Yeah.
And then have a quick shower just to get rid of all the sweat, and then jump in the ice for 4 minutes. 4.5 yesterday, actually. I know it's not 10, but it's 9 degrees. And I find myself, I have a friend on Instagram called Yemi, who jumped in the ice bath, and she's a pommy, and she's like, I can't do this. And so I was like, it's all about the breathing. You jump in and you just focus on your breath, and before you know it, 4 minutes is up, or 4.5 minutes is up.
So good. You coached her through. I've done that to my girlfriend as well at the Recovery Lab. They've got a contrast room there where you get your own private room. You've got your own infrared sauna, your own ice bath.
That's me. Yep.
And so we'll warm up together and I'll sort of help her get into her head. Then she can do the ice bath, and she's getting longer and longer each time.
We have teams in, and so I stand there and get the whole, like last time we had under 16 footy team. And so they'll come in and there'll be 25 guys and I'll talk them through the ice baths.
It's incredible.
And get them all to do at least 3 minutes. Like 3 minutes is good. And if 3 to 8 is the kind of range that we look at. Yeah. Kate gets in there for like 20 minutes now.
Yeah, I don't know why. I sickly enjoy it now. Yeah, I actually like the cold part of my shower. It's like people look forward to the hot, I look forward to the cold.
So Carmen, I know this is potentially a conflict, but we're in different neighborhoods. But Carmen at Calm Springs, I see her every second day. And when I get out, I'm like, it's so long until I have to come back. And before you know it, I'm like, Carmen, we're back here again. Like, we're doing this again. But I really do enjoy it. And so, Bruce, let's just dial it back to focus on, so you bought a recovery lab for the girls, and they're running that as their own business. With you shifting in?
Sometimes.
Oh, really?
One of them, they both started. One of them, they're both at uni.
Yep.
So Zali's now 24. She's just finished a film and TV degree, and she's got part of a law degree. She's very creative and she's very organised. And so she's the older sister. The younger sister's a bit quieter. She's studying psychology. They're a good team. But Zali got caught making movies for a film degree. You talked about EMT. So Zali's all into movies and film. And so she got caught up, which she thought she would. So she was at uni and making movies all weekends and basically didn't work in the lab. So the younger sister is now running the business. That wasn't what she wanted to do. 3 months later, older sister back, younger sister, I'm out the door, and she's never been back. Right. So we lost the younger sister. She finished her psychology degree, which is great. They're both backpacking around Vietnam at the moment.
Wow.
So together. So Dad's there. Filling in tonight.
You're covering tonight for her.
And my sons, I've got 2 boys, and my 19-year-old was doing year 12 last year, so he hadn't worked there. Him and I did a few shifts the last couple of weeks.
That's great.
We're getting there.
Just so it's a business obviously, but did you throw yourself back to when your dad was teaching you at the supermarkets?
Yeah, I think that's right. So I enjoyed as a kid being, like I used to get up at 15 and polish the floors of the supermarket before I'd catch the bus to school, come home. We lived out in the Yarra Valley, come back after school and stack shelves or work in the registers or do something. So that was from like very young. So I used to pack groceries for customers when I was 7 and 8.
So what do you...
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
My kids aren't necessarily there to the same degree. They're not as passionate about as me, so I've got to tread carefully because you don't want to be your relationship, like particularly Zali, who is now back running it. She's been running it again. I don't want, like, my wife's very conscious that my relationship with Zali isn't just about
the business.
So I can't be calling her and saying what time. The only reason I call her, she doesn't live at home. The other 3 live at home.
Right.
So I need to make sure that you're
balancing.
Supporting her, doing all the things as parents do. You both are parents of, your kids are a little bit younger, but she's, going through all the stuff. She lives with her boyfriend, relationships, university, all this stuff. And I need to be there for her. And that's really, family's obviously exceptionally important to me. But I didn't do it. I was 20 years in a national law firm and I worked a lot of hours and I wasn't always there because I was travelling and I did a lot of stuff. And so you want to make sure that I made a lot of mistakes, but that I'm there with a relationship that's not a business relationship.
Yeah, totally get it. I keep trying to seed the idea with Maddie. We just bought tickets to Ed Sheeran, who's coming out. And so I'm like, how many people in the stadium? She's like, 20,000. I said, well, we just paid $250 a ticket. Let's just drum it down. So let's just pay the average person paid $150 a ticket. It's 20,000 people. Do the maths for me. And then she's adding up, like, holy shit. It's like, now, let me know when you want to get serious about the business because I think you have the same ability to fill stadiums and all the rest of it. And then balance that off to year 7 you go now. Like she's still a kid, right? I don't want it to be Britney Spears. Talent-wise I do, but probably not headspace-wise I do. Bruce, we're working on some amazing things together which we can't share at the moment, but it's been a real privilege to be able to work with you. I've really enjoyed our engagements. I've enjoyed hanging out with some superstar athletes and us holding court and them just listening because they want to learn the business and be part of a business, but we want to be part of the sport. And there's all these amazing things going on. So I'm glad that you're recovering no pun intended on Recovery Lab. Kate, you enjoy Recovery Lab. I see your stories on the frequent, which is amazing. But Bruce, I really enjoyed our camaraderie and our working relationship to get things done. It's been a real privilege for me, and hopefully it continues. There's a good chance that it doesn't, in terms of the deal may not get done, but I'm hopeful that it does, and I've really enjoyed being your teammate and running alongside you, and I really wish you all the health and recovery as much as possible.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, very healthy. The health bit's going well, so recovering, and I think the intersection of sport and business we're both, very passionate about as well, is, things around leadership and teamwork and things like that you get from sport and then business.
And communities. It's all communities.
And about community. That's another thing, so yeah. Yeah,
speaking of community, I think I invited Bruce on the pod, but you might have invited him because I'm not quite sure.
Chance.
And you guys, we live quite far from each other, yet we're so connected in terms of our business network, EMT, the BFT, and the Recovery Lab, and Kate, and Kate's business, and
EO. We're all three connected through EO.
Yeah. I didn't know Kate through EO. I knew you through EO, just through Blue Rock and what you guys were doing there from a sponsorship. I didn't know Kate until Kate showed up and did a pop-up. I didn't even know how you got here, but you did a pop-up. I think you met Sade.
And Sade.
Yeah, I think you met Sade, and then Sim was tasked with helping us activate BeFit Foods in the space. And then you and I started talking, and
here we are.
We're here. It's all connected.
I have to mention BDC once because that is my main business.
Yes, go for it.
Oh, yeah.
BDC. So you mentioned we spun out of Blue Rock. So yes, I was fortunate to be at Blue Rock for a little while, but BDC is a franchise and retail advisory business. So we own some franchise systems, we've got a professional services business, and we've got a tech business all around franchise and retail. So fortunate to be able to have amazing entrepreneurial business partners and in that business. So,
and you look after some of the biggest franchises in Australia.
Yeah, we worked for lots of different ones. So I guess some of the learnings I learned through at my previous roles at Hall & Wilcox and at Blue Rock was all around leadership, and then wanted to do that myself. So started the business, and I'm the CEO of BDC Partners. But yeah, we've got some large franchisors and retailers that we act for across from law to property, where we find sites, we recruit franchisees.
Fitness.
Yep. We've got brands in fitness, brands in food. Lots of large franchises.
I want to connect you to one of our members because he has been franchising for a little while, and now he's ready to go to the next level. I think he's got about 50 restaurants across Australia, and I think there's some international ones as well. And he's looking to go to the next level. So I want to connect you with him. I can't disclose who he is right now. Guys, we could talk all day. Unfortunately, everyone else has to go to work. I'm probably going to tune out. Bruce, thank you. May everything work out perfectly for you from here forward. No bike riding, please.
No, but I don't think my wife's going to let me back on the bike for a little while. She's had a bit of two pretty big scares in the last 6 months. So
don't do it to her, please. and to me, I need you here, man.
Guys, Kate might have to own the Recovery Lab the way.
Kate's
should be running it with my daughter.
I've just come to get in. I can't get in, Bruce. Well, the key's under the bed.
Cool, thanks, guys.
Guys, we'll hear from Luna, and Kate and I'll be back after this break. Thank you. weareluna.co is a great place for you and your business to start off with phenomenal accounting and legal services. So if you're a startup or a scale-up looking for legal and finance support, or alternatively looking to raise capital, weareluna.co is where you need to be starting off. So Kate,
great segment. Yeah. I love that focus, family, health and fitness, and franchise, because that mix of things really rings true to his values, and it's quite clear in the way that he lives his life.
Yeah, it definitely is. I get to see Bruce behind the show.
Yeah.
And he's definitely a man of, firstly, integrity, but moreover, he's a man that actually walks the talk.
Yeah.
So that the amount of times that I've called him is like, I'm just in the sauna. Can I call you back?
Yes.
Or I'll text you. Because he's either on the bike or doing something.
He was carrying in the bags of ice when I was there to
no
put
doubt.
the ice into the saunas to really chill it down for the footy boys.
No doubt. You know, it's interesting for me, when the girls were born, I used to ride 120 Ks, every other day on my bike. And then when the girls were born, I actually sold my bike.
Yeah.
Fear just came over me.
Yeah.
And
My story's the same. So
Yeah.
I was on my bike. I used to personal train clients about 15 kilometres from where I live. So I'd ride there in the morning in the pitch black, train them they had a home gym, and then ride back. And I was riding back one day, and it was bright daylight then, so it's like, I don't know, 8 or 9 in the morning, and it was a really clear day, and there was a guy on a bike in front of me. He got hit by a car, and I was 11 weeks pregnant. Hadn't told anyone I was pregnant. I just stepped off my bike, and I've not been back on since.
I'm going to bring this full circle, and I'll tag him. But there's a very outspoken guy for human rights. His name is, his name is escaping me now.
Put it in the show notes.
Yeah, no, I'll put it in the show notes. But I sold my bike to him. And then I started following him on X.
Yeah.
And then I randomly sent him a message. I was like, your face, I know your face. Did you buy and I described the bike and all the rest of it. He's like, yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
And randomly just kind of connected the dots.
Yeah.
He's a human rights lawyer.
Yeah, right.
And he's very vocal about the Victorian government and how they're treating the people at the moment, which I fully support. He's 100% accurate. I don't want to go political on you. But I sold my bike to him.
Yeah,
it's in great hands. I don't miss it because of situations like Bruce.
You got a Peloton, don't you?
We do.
Yeah.
We do. But I like my Peloton tread. Sim likes the Peloton bike.
Yeah.
But yeah, when the girls were born, I sold that thing and haven't looked back since.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's another great session, another great segment. Thanks, James at Purpose Productions. Thank you, Kate. We'll see you on the next one.
See you next time.